We love you. We love everyone. Everyone. I mean, to be honest, we love everyone. And we'll be back.
President Trump just got on stage. He's in Georgia helping the people. They're dealing with the hurricane. So grab the link, share it out so everyone can hear from the president.
But again, you can't ever discount the fact that people are lost. A lot of people have been lost in this terrible storm, this terrible hurricane. It's a storm that's also taken the lives of, I guess they have a count of 91, but that count changes on an hourly basis, and it goes only in one direction, unfortunately up, but at least 91 people already. And to the families and loved ones of those who have perished, we mourn alongside of you, and we grieve every single life so tragically lost. I'd like to now ask for a moment of silence and prayer, if you would, for those who have died. Thank you. Thank you very much. As you know, our country is in the final weeks of a hard-fought national election. But in a time like this, when a crisis hits, when our fellow citizens cry out in need, none of that matters. We're not talking about politics now. We have to all get together and get this solved. We need a lot of help. They have to have a lot of help down here. We look out for one another. We pull together. We pitch in. We persevere, and we pull it through. That is really the American spirit. That's what made America originally great. And that's why today I've come to Valdosta with large semi-trucks, many of them, filled with relief aid, and a tanker truck filled up with gasoline. We have a couple of the big tanker trucks filled up with gasoline, which they can't get now. And we'll be working to distribute it throughout the day. And I want to thank again Franklin Graham and everyone at Samaritan's Purse. You people are fantastic, by the way, and people appreciate you very much for the incredible partnering and work that they've done, not only here but all the time. They always seem to be the first ones at areas that need help. A short time ago, I received a briefing on the situation here in Valdosta from FEMA and the National Guard, as well as a number of state and local officials, quite a few of them. It's amazing the way it's just all been pulled together. Really amazing. I want to thank Mayor Scott James, Valdosta, where is Scott? Where is Scott? Hey, Scott. Thank you very much. Really great. Really great job. I want to thank Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones and Agricultural Commissioner Tyler Harper, representatives, as I said before, Austin Scott and Mike Collins, and all of the others present. I also want to thank Governor Brian Kemp, who's working around the clock to get this problem solved. He's working hard around the clock. We also have a salute to the incredible first responders, law enforcement heroes, and they are heroes, doctors, nurses, firefighters, Coast Guard, National Guard, who have been serving with such extraordinary grace, and the work is incredible. Nobody thought they'd see something like this. You're the best. You are truly the best of America, and you're appreciated by America. Sometimes you don't feel that way, but you're very much appreciated by America. And I know each and every one of you is giving to this community of everything you have. You're doing things that you wouldn't normally even think about doing. The people on the ground are doing the best they can in every challenging circumstances. We do need some help from the federal government. They have to get together, ideally with the governor. The governor needs to, he's been trying to get them, and I'm sure they're going to come through. But he's been calling the president, hasn't been able to get him. But they'll come through, I'm sure. And Georgia and North Carolina need the help probably worst of all, but North Carolina has really been hit. They have really been hit. They say nobody's seen anything like that at all. Every part of these communities has been affected by this brutal storm, and countless Georgia cotton and pecan farmers. The farmers have been affected, Kelly, very, very badly, very, very badly. And I love those farmers, and we're going to take care of the farmers. There's no question about it. Their crops and their livelihoods have been so badly affected. Swift actions needed to get the farmers access to loans and disaster recovery aid to help them quickly get back on their feet so they can help our nation prosper. I always support our great farmers and agricultural communities, and just go out. I know that the help is going to be there, and help will soon be on its way. There's no question about that. With the path to full and complete recovery, we will work very hard. It won't be easy, because this one is so bad, but we know in our hearts God is with us. God is strongly with us, and that the American people are stronger than any challenge that stands in our way. We have a lot of challenges in this country, more than we should have, frankly. But the American people are very strong and very smart. Working together, we'll overcome these hardships. We'll endure. We will rebuild Valdosta and every other town that has been so badly hit, and we'll emerge stronger, more united, and more prosperous than ever before. You're going to be stronger, better. You're going to learn a lot from it. And again, we pray to God for those that have been so badly injured, and in particular, for the people that are no longer with us. And God bless everybody. And Franklin, I want to thank you very much for your being here so quickly, very, very quickly, always very early. And Franklin, maybe I could ask you to say a few words. Franklin Graham, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. This building behind us represents hundreds of thousands of people that have lost homes, businesses, friends, loved ones. And it's going to take an army of volunteers and people to respond. And of course, at Samaritan's Purse, we want to respond always in Jesus' name. And we want people to know that God loves them, that God cares for them. Sometimes when a storm like this comes, people think, well, maybe God is mad at us. Maybe this is his judgment. No, God loves us. How do I know that? Because the Bible tells us that God loves us and cares for us. And yes, there are storms in life, but God will take us through those storms if we put our faith and trust in his Son, Jesus Christ. Thank you, Mr. President, for coming and helping to put a spotlight on this city, this state, in this region that has lost so much. Thank you. May God bless you, Mr. President. I've been asked if I would lead in a prayer. Our Father and our God, we come today to say thank you for these men and women who are here as volunteers. Thank you for the President who has taken time to come and to see it for himself, to shake hands, to encourage, and to smile in the faces of people that have been hurt and devastated by this storm. Father, we ask for help. Father, we pray that as we come to this election, that your will be done. And so, Father, we pray for the President, strengthen him, protect him. Father, we thank you. And it's in Jesus' name we pray this prayer. Amen. Amen. Thank you.
Well, we missed a little intro there when President Trump first walked up, but he did tell everyone that he's bringing supplies, kind of like when the train derailment happened in East Palestine, Ohio. President Trump showed up, brought supplies, brought water, brought aid, and that's what he's doing here in Georgia.
Reverend Graham. President Trump. President Trump. President Trump and Reverend Graham. Reverend Graham, can you please come over?
President Trump, do you still think the Biden administration is unresponsive?
If they go on strike on the port, do you think that will affect us?
They're great people and they're going to do what they do. I know them very well. They're great people.
President Trump was actually early today. He showed up on the live 5 minutes early. That's why we were scrambling to go live.
I don't have it, man. You gotta vote Trump, people. All right, there you go. President Trump, Reverend Graham speaking at this event here at Right Side Broadcasting Network. We want to thank the Birch Gold Group and the Wellness Company for sponsoring this event here. Obviously, a moment of silence and also a prayer by the Reverend Franklin Graham. I'm going to head over that way. I know our cameras can't go over there, so I'm going to head that way. We want to thank you so much for joining us here at Right Side. We can stay on this live shot as long as you guys would like at the station. We're going to head over there and see if we can get any interviews at all. I don't have a shot. I don't have it. Yeah, no wire. I'm gonna start looking for a wireless kit real quick. Yeah, I can't really break and go.
I think the reporter might be on his own. I think he might be handling the camera as well as trying to do interviews on the ground. I don't know his name, but he's like the main guy right now.
All right, you can see the president over there. Unfortunately, we did not have our capability lined up to be able to get over there, and we also couldn't get to that kind of spot right there as some of the press did. That's that. So that's our live coverage here at Right Side Broadcasting Network. We're waiting for President Trump to get back into the SUV. You can see him to the right now, walking to the right.
Oh, there's a lefty.
And going inside that SUV.
Spot the lefty.
All right, that wraps up our coverage as President Trump will be in Wisconsin tomorrow. Again, we want to thank the Birch Gold Group and the Wellness Company for this awesome sponsorship.
All right, President Trump over in Georgia, Valdosta or somewhere, I don't know. Doing the thing. He might not be in the White House yet, but he's still doing presidential stuff. So we're going to read through the menu really quick. Now, of course, we will be getting things started. We were just watching President Trump live in Valdosta, or, yeah, I don't know, you know where, in Georgia, bringing those individuals aid because it's been bad over there, hurricane and whatnot. Now, before we get any further, I want to remind you guys, if you would like to join the website, right now is the time to do it. Go get yourself a membership for jeffmaclive.com. That way you can watch today's live. You can post in Hooligans Alley, and you can hang out with all the hooligans in the group chats. Plus, you'll even be able to join us Fridays, 6 p.m. Eastern time for our voice chat, which is a lot of fun. So definitely go get yourself a membership for jeffmaclive.com. Next up, we got SpaceX launches rescue mission for 2 NASA astronauts who are stuck in space until next year. They're writing that title nice and dramatic. They're going to be stuck up there until February because things didn't go as planned. We've been keeping up with it, so we got a little follow-up for that story. Then we got a video titled Biden administration needs to push for deal to avert dock worker strike. This will be our 3rd follow-up, I believe, with the strike that's happening at the ports. But what no one is talking about is what's going to happen with the border crossers. Last couple times we covered this story, we were talking about, how is it going to affect the economy? How is it going to affect the grocery stores and stuff like that? But I'm seeing a lot of people pointing attention to what's going to happen with the border crossers, because they're going to be the first group of individuals to start losing their food, their blankets, their iPhones, their brand new Jordans. They're going to be the first ones to lose their free shit. And then how's that going to look? What's going to happen after that? Because they're already saying that immediately we will see these changes in the grocery stores, and then eventually we will see it with products. People are concerned with holidays coming up. Are we going to be able to even purchase gifts if this strike happens and stuff like that? I'm more worried about border crossers eating us, but that's coming up next. Then we got a video titled Voters Are Asked If They Are Better Off Now Than They Were 4 years ago. Some street interviews, which is always good. And then we got Tim Walz video. It's titled Tim Walz Gets Heckled by Students at Michigan Game and Then Appears to Flip the Students Off. Also, later on that day, we have a second video here. It's titled This Is Brutal. Michigan college football fans booed Tim Walz as he entered the stadium. Nobody likes the old horse drinker there, and people are not scared to be vocal about it. Then we got a video titled, it'll be wrapping up our news for the day. It's titled Man Accused of Plotting Assassination Attempt Against President Donald Trump Pleads Not Guilty in Court. He's got to have some real money or something, because how do you get caught trying to assassinate the president and then you go to court and say you just plead not guilty? He must have badass attorneys, or he's a dumbass. It's one or the other. There's no way you get caught red-handed like that then plead not guilty. He must be getting some sort of crazy legal advice. Because generally, if he was assigned like a court-appointed attorney, like he didn't pay for an attorney, the court just gave one to him because you have the right to that if you are an American. If he had a court-appointed attorney, they would tell him to plead guilty. They'd give him a plea deal. That's what they would do. They'd tell him plead guilty and we'll give you some deal. And for him to say he's not guilty, he's either really stupid or he's got some badass attorney that thinks they got some trick up their sleeve. But either way, that'll be wrapping up our news. And then we have 2 funny videos of the day. Well, I don't know if the first one's a funny one, but it's amusing. I'll say that. It's titled You Can Smell the Freedom. And then our official funny video of the day is titled You Can't Take Us Hooligans Anywhere. All right, we're going to get started on our first video here. First one's titled SpaceX Launches Rescue Mission for 2 NASA Astronauts Who Are Stuck in Space Until February. They have it titled as next year, but in reality it'll be until February, which is long enough. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and get into this. And before we do, I want to remind you guys really quick, we have these Outraged Hooligan t-shirts. It says, if you are not outraged, you are not paying attention. This design was created by Alistair because he's such a badass. This design comes in shirts for men, shirts for women, tank tops for men, tank tops for women, pullover hoodies, zipper hoodies, coffee mugs, stickers, and dog tags. Today I got on the Bars and Stars Hooligan badge, which I might have wore Saturday. I don't know. I just did laundry, so whatever's whatever. But either way, go check out all the designs on the merch store. I'll drop the link in the chats while we're watching this first video.
Welcome back, everyone. Astronauts Sunny Williams and Butch Wilmore are now one step closer to coming back home from the International Space Station.
3, 2, 1, ignition, taking full power, and liftoff of Crew 9. Go SpaceX, go Falcon, go NASA.
Liftoff of Crew 9 now soaring to the International Space Station.
This is always so cool to watch. SpaceX successfully launching a rocket from Cape Canaveral Saturday with half of its normal crew, because that craft will be the way home for Williams and Wilmore come February. News Nation's Kelly Beeson is live from our Chicago headquarters with more on this important launch. Kelly, good to see you. Good morning. Finally, good news when it comes to the Starliner saga.
You know, you can say that twice, Henna. You're absolutely right. You know, this was supposed to be just 8 weeks in space for these two, and now it is set to be 8 months. So you'll remember Williams and Wilmore, they went to the ISS. This was back in June on the Boeing Starliner, and it was really nothing but issues for weeks. So helium leaks, thruster malfunctions, all of it forcing this Starliner to return to Earth this month without a crew after both Boeing and NASA said they could not guarantee their safety. So yesterday's SpaceX launch, this is serving as a rescue mission of sorts. The Dragon spacecraft will have 2 astronauts on board instead of a typical 4-person crew, and this is to make room, of course, for Wilmore and Williams. This is not going to be a quick return for the Dragon because those astronauts who are coming to the ISS, Henna, they do have some assigned tasks there, and that means that Wilmore and Williams, they won't be able to hitch a ride back to Earth until February of next year. And, you know, what's interesting is typically these astronauts who are all on board the same spacecraft, they train together. That, of course, won't be the case either in February. They won't even meet for the very first time until this spacecraft docks with the ISS, and that is set to happen this evening.
So what happened to that crew that was supposed to be heading to space? Because you mentioned there are 2 people in there, not 4.
Yeah, you're right, Henna. And that's a great question. Those astronauts, they'll be staying behind, simply put. So Zena Cardman, Stephanie Wilson, they trained for a year and a half, only to be told recently that they weren't going. So Cardman talked about her emotions as she watched the Dragon take off without her. This was yesterday.
I think it was hard not to watch that rocket lift off without thinking, that's my rocket and that's my crew. But I also know that I'm not the only person who can think that. Of course, we have Stephanie Wilson here today, but I mean, there are many, many people who made this mission happen, and there are people on orbit who will be taking this capsule home. And it makes me very proud to know that I am one of many people who can say, that's my crew, that's my rocket. Makes me really proud, makes me feel very connected to this mission that we all get to take part of.
Yeah, so being a great sport for sure. Cardman, she was supposed to serve as the commander of this mission, but instead she was again watching it from the ground. Now, the good news, the plan is to find slots for both Cardman and Wilson to fly in the future. Henna.
I have no doubt they will be going into space. Kelly Beeson live in Chicago for us this morning. Thank you, Kelly.
Well, more space stuff. Well, I'm sure we'll be covering it until February when they go back and get those individuals. I hate being stranded, and I don't know if that's just a man thing, because you know how it's like a stereotype that men don't like to ask for directions or whatever. But as soon as I get lost or stranded, I get more pissed off than you've ever seen a person before. And it's like super self-destructive. I couldn't imagine being stranded in space. Could not imagine that at all. There's just no way home. That is a good enough reason for me to never even attempt that stuff. I don't want no part of that. I don't like going places where I don't have a way to get back if things go left. Because you know how it is. You make a plan, the plan fails, and then you're fucked. And that's life. That's all there is to life. Pretty much every day you wake up and do that. So, no, I wouldn't be signing up to go get stranded in space. I wouldn't want any part of that. There's no money to make in space either, so there's no way I'd be going there. Doesn't make any sense to me, but either way, good for those people. I hope they got what they signed up for. That's kind of how I feel about it. You want to go to space? Now you got more space than you ever wanted. There you go. Congratulations. I don't know. I don't know. You'll never see my ass in space. Anyways, next up we have Biden administration needs to push for deal to avert dock workers strike, like we were just talking about a little bit ago. People at the port, they're going to be going on strike, and I'm seeing videos saying they're already on strike. This video is going to make claims that they're not going on strike until tomorrow, but all over X, I am seeing videos of people supposedly from the port who are currently on strike. So we'll see how this goes. They're saying within a week of them going on strike, we will see those changes at the grocery store. We're going to see less items on the shelf, probably cause prices to go up and things like that. They're saying within a week we will see that, and within a month we will see it affect other products, non-perishables, things in the toy aisle and in the electronics aisle and stuff like that. We'll start seeing those items disappearing because the supply is not there because the port's on strike. We'll see how it goes. Like I said in the beginning, it seems really weird that right now we're in election period. We're 30-something days from voting, and now all of a sudden this happens. And it seems strategic to me, but they don't talk about that in this upcoming video. So either way, we'll talk more about it when we cover it. We're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about NASA, SpaceX, and all the other stuff going on with stranded people in space. Holy salty ragu. That's rough stuff. You need to be more careful, buddy. Happy freedom to you. What's up, Zero? Happy freedom. Here, Juicer, can't imagine the smell of the space station. That's true, but I can't smell or taste anything anyway, so I think I'd be immune to it, but it wouldn't be good, I'm sure. Sam, you'd totally go to space? Well, you've been almost all the way there anyways. A little higher up, you'd be in space. Russell, you'd love to go to space? Why would you want to go to space? Why do you hooligans want to go to space? Salt ragu for the space weed. I should have known. Should have known. Thank you so much, Jump Offa, for that $10 donation over on Rumble. You're a badass. Thank you so much for the support. Says happy freedom, hooligans. Appreciate you, Jump Offa. What's up, Eddie Walker? Happy freedom. Did you hear anything about Verizon going out? I did see that Verizon's down, but Verizon doesn't work where I live, so I don't know a whole lot about it. I assume it's like everything else. It'll be gone, or it'll be down, and then it'll come back, and they won't have any excuses for why that happened, and then we'll all forget about it in 24 hours. But if not, we'll go look into it. Pumpkin, it's all part of the plan. Fear and chaos. Yep. Like I said, Friday or Saturday when we were covering about this potential port strike, it seems like every time it's election season, they just let the country burn because then we all need help. And then we got two people who are claiming they're going to help us. They're going to provide us with everything we need, and we got to choose the right guy. And then as soon as inauguration happens, everything calms down all of a sudden. It's all orchestrated. At least that's what I believe. What's up, Alistair? Happy freedom. Alistair, I want to go just to experience it, different perspective. That's pretty cool, Alistair, I suppose. I can't remember anything, so having experiences is kind of degraded in my brain. I don't like to do things just for the experience unless it's something that's been on my bucket list for a while. But like I said, going to space, being stranded, and imploding isn't on my list of things to do. So I personally am not interested in space or going to the bottom of the ocean, kind of for the same reasons. But yeah, some people are just, they like to explore. What's up, Tree Herder? Happy freedom. Pumpkin, to see what's in space, we must go there. Yeah. Russell, because I've never been there, I love exploration and adventure. Heck yeah. I could see that. DCAT, well, you might not want to go out in a Manistee National Forest. I'm just saying. Well, if I walk in any direction long enough, I'll find civilization. Doesn't work like that in space or the bottom of the ocean. Deep South Jody, Rumble's acting up. I'm sorry to hear that. It has been weeks since I've had anybody tell me that. There's always technical problems. Alistair, been deep in the ocean. 200 feet was my limit. Wrench diving was amazing. Interesting, Alistair. I'd get eaten by a shark or raped by an octopus or something, so I don't mess with it. But you hooligans are braver than I am. What's up, Zeus Boot? Happy freedom. Guess who? They say it smells like space, which has a brunt smell. Interesting. I wonder how does space have a smell if there's no air in space? Buck, Space Force needs you. No, they don't need me. What's up to Marquise? Happy freedom. Find it, fix it. Also, the shoremen are on strike soon too. What is shoremen? Find it, fix it. I really don't miss being on YouTube. There's a weird mentality on YouTube that I don't see on any of the other platforms. People hop in the chat and they act like dickheads. Just straight dickheads. Like they hate their life. It's like I'm at the post office all over again. I have to go to the post office today because I have packages waiting for me, and I didn't go earlier because I just was so upset that I knew if I went in there, I'd be punching that lady right in the fucking face. I'm going to put her on camera when I go in there later, and whatever's going to happen is going to happen. I'm tired of them harassing me about my packages. Yep, they just want to fondle my package. What's up, Christy Star? Happy freedom. Snook's raped by an octopus. Yeah, it's not on my to-do list. That's also why I don't play with dolphins. I love waking people up to dolphin rape. Love that. I'm like, you shouldn't hang out with them. They will do things to you. And people are like, what? And I'm like, Google it. And they're like, oh my God. Yeah, you should look up elephants and rhinos too. The same thing. Death by rape. Terrible. Anyways, on to non-rape subjects. This next one's titled, Biden administration needs to push for a deal to avert dock worker strike. Old man Walter ain't going to work no deal.
President.
He ain't going to work no deal. Maybe they'll send Hyena Harris over there. Look. Trade-off. You can keep her for a week, do what you want, just don't go on strike. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. And don't forget, hit that like button over on Rumble.
And CEO for the American Trucking Association's Chris Spear. Chris, good morning to you. I mean, put this into perspective for us. If this strike takes place for a prolonged period of time, just how disastrous would it be for the economy?
Well, thanks, Marky, for having me on. We're literally at cliff's edge, less than 17 hours out from this strike. And you're going to see the severity of it in week one, starting with agriculture. 46% of everything in agriculture is exported through these East Coast ports. So farmers, those perishables from produce, but also meat, poultry, soybeans, cotton. This is very significant for our farming community, but also 85% of canned goods go through the East Coast ports. So you're talking about half of North Carolina underwater or mud, and 4 other states directly impacted, trying to recover from a natural disaster. This is not the time for a strike. 36 ports, 85,000 dock workers, but you're also talking about hundreds of thousands in the supply chain that support these ports, including my industry, owner-operators, independent contractors. These are all truckers that need to make a living, that depend on moving that freight. 12,000 containers every day out of New York and New Jersey are moved by truck. So the supply chain is going to have significant ramifications the longer this strike goes on.
And Chris, just, talking about produce, for example, and truckers not being able to get produce to grocery stores, how soon would everyday Americans be feeling that on their local shelves?
Almost immediately with the food on the grocery store shelves. In weeks 2, 3, that's when you start seeing the major goods that are going to be on the shelves for the holidays. So going into an election, this is not what you want to see happen. But let's really talk about real hardworking Americans out there. They're going to be impacted. People that are suffering from this natural disaster are certainly going to feel it. Where is the leadership, Marky? I mean, this is 3 months these parties have not been to the table. It's the job of the president and this administration to bring them together, to negotiate and get an outcome, and we're not seeing it.
And I was going to ask you, you bring me to my next question. What do you make of the timing of all this, Chris? Because, you bring up politics. We're 36 days to the election. Halloween's around the corner. Holidays around the corner. Why is this happening right now?
Well, contracts are up, throughout the year. This one just overlaps with the election, with the holidays, everything you just cited. But this is an administration, mindful, that has walked a picket line. First time in American history, a president, vice president, and acting secretary of labor have walked a picket line for the UAW. They are clearly shilling for big labor. This is really about campaign endorsements and donations, not about the American people, not about people that are recovering from this natural disaster. They need to wake up, bring these parties to the table. The president was asked yesterday why he wouldn't use Taft-Hartley, which is a tool. You would always want to keep every piece of leverage, at your disposal. He said, oh, it's collective bargaining. Well, that's true if the parties had actually been to the table. They haven't talked since June. That's the job of the president and the administration, is to keep them together, get a deal, and get it now.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to
Well, we'll see what happens, because like I said, I've seen 4 or 5 videos on X that are supposedly port workers on strike. They're already on strike. They're not on their forklifts and stuff. They got everything parked. I haven't seen any signs or anything. They're just walking around saying, don't work, we're on strike. Like telling each other, like, don't go to work, we're on strike right now, we're done. Don't do anything, we're on strike. And so I don't know if they're organizing right now or what exactly is going on, because like I said, in that video, they claim that it's going to start tomorrow, but I'm seeing videos right now. So we'll see how it goes. I highly doubt Old Man Walter is going to work that out. I think that they could obviously get this resolved, but I don't think Old Man Walter is going to have a hand in it. I know he's the union president, like he tries to sell everybody. Well, it's time to put his money where his mouth is. He better go talk to them unions then, if that's who he is. They'd be better off sending President Trump down there to talk some business and get some things taken care of. I don't know. Every time these strikes happen, it's kind of like just wait and see. I've never been a part of a union or anything like that. There's hardly any unions where I live. Everywhere here is all at-will employment. You do what you're told and you shut the hell up while you're doing it, or else you're fired. And that's that. You can eat shit and go starve. And that's what it's like to work in Michigan. So I don't know anything about being privileged enough to go on strike and shit. It's kind of like, do I want to hate my life or starve to death? That's what you got here in Michigan. Unless you're wealthy, unless you can figure out how to be wealthy. But either way, we'll see. With this port thing, it just sounds like more fear-mongering than anything. Kind of like when the government shutdown gets threatened every year, twice a year, or whatever. KJP comes out and, oh yeah, the veterans and welfare recipients and blah, blah, blah. You'll be the first ones to feel it if the government shuts down, da-da-da-da-da, all this shit. We're going to blame you for misbudgeting, and that's kind of how this is. These port workers are claiming they're not making enough money. The ports are making tons of money, and they're like, okay, well, we're going to make America suffer or give us more money. I'm like, okay, we'll see what happens. We'll stay up to date with it. Next up, we have voters are asked if they are better off now than they were 4 years ago. This is a street interview where people are just simply being asked, are you better off than 4 years ago? If so, or if not, why? It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about these port workers on strike. Hair Juicer, you're probably seeing third shift workers today, and is there Tuesday? I didn't even think about that, Hair Juicer. I bet you're right. I bet you're right. I bet that's what it is. I bet it is third shifters. I didn't even think of that. Now I'm trying to think like what it looked like, because in a couple of the videos you could see outside, and it did look like morning time, which would be the end of the shift for third shift. I didn't think about that. Thank you for letting me know, Hair Juicer. I'm going to see what kind of videos I can find, and maybe tomorrow for Coffee with Hooligans, we will have a little bit more insight on what the strike looks like down there at the ports. Salted Ragu calendars are racist. Boy, yeah, they got math on them. Salted Ragu, will Taco Bell be affected? Nah. They'll just grind up their employees right there in the store. It'll be fine. They'll never run out of supplies. Thank you, Snooks. We're all in this together. Sam, they predict it'll be the biggest celestial event in our lifetime. That's interesting. Sam's sitting here telling me about how there's going to be a massive supernova explosion in the sky in a few weeks, and the Orion constellation, the star known as Betelgeuse, is going to explode. It's super crazy, Sam. I haven't heard anything about it. You're my source on this. Russell, we're going to be in tough shape soon. Yeah, if they don't fix this stuff, we are going to be in a rough spot. And then they're all worried about the holidays in the video. They're like, but the holidays are coming up. And like, when is the last time you've seen anybody happy during the holidays? Years ago, pre-COVID days, was the last time I seen anybody happy for the holidays. South Ragu, can we stream Beetlejuice? No, it's copyrighted material. I might be able to stream it on the website, but I can't stream it anywhere else, so we'll see. I've been thinking about having a movie night on the website. I'm not sure how it works, because it has to be done a certain way. You can't have a private viewing of a video. Like, I can't charge money for you guys to see a video I didn't make myself. But if you were at my house and I rent a movie and I put it in the TV, it's not considered a public viewing. And because Hooligans Alley and all of that is private. It's exclusive to members. I might be able to do movie night. We just can't make that a part of the fee. It's like a free thing that's included with your membership. We might be able to get around it. I need to hire an attorney so I can see what all we can and can't do, and we can push the limits a little bit. What's up, Cadillacs? Happy Freedom. Free the attacks and do it over Discord. Fuck the system. Discord is going to eat itself one day. That's why I don't work really hard on Discord. One day, one of you hooligans is going to post something that ain't supposed to be posted in there, and they will wipe Discord off the face of the planet. It's going to happen one day, because I don't sit in there and babysit everybody, because everybody gets all mad when I do. So I just work on the website, and when Discord implodes, well, you'll just have to get a membership on the website. And then that's that. DCAT's the Beetlejuice EMP. Is that what's going to happen? Alistair, yeah, people do it through YouTube and Facebook all the time. Yeah, but it catches up to you. I don't want to do anything illegal, even if I could get away with it. Free the text, and hopefully the supernova will take us out too. We will not be that lucky. Have you not been looking around? God has quite the sense of humor. You will suffer and eat shit, and as soon as the days look better, he'll take you. That's how God's humor is. It's just like that. You'll eat shit for days, and right when you're about to kick the bucket, the sunshine will break through, rainbows will be on the horizon, China buffets only 10 footsteps away, and that's when you go. That's when you go right there. DK, y'all better get your gas cans filled up. Yeah, it's true. Better get ammunition and stuff too. The border crossers are going to be the first ones to start losing their marbles, because they're already hanging on by a thread. And as soon as the resources are gone because of the port strike, well, they'll be coming for our stuff. And that's not going to go over really well. And then imagine what the news will say about it. What's up, Fitzy? Happy Freedom. Jeb, my neighbor has a proud union worker sign in his front yard. I'm too nice to change his sign to onion worker. Jeb, you're funny. Have you guys seen the Trump nope signs? Where, I don't know why Hine Harris and them are selling these things. I think they're fucking badass. But it says nope, and then the O has got the Trump hair on it, and it's like a black and white sign. I want to change the N to an H, and then put out hope signs with Trump hair on it. And I can't believe no one's even thought of that yet. We should make t-shirts. Alistair, we should make t-shirts that say hope with the Trump hair on it. I bet we could get away with that. Because I just feel like that's way better than the stupid nope signs. The Democrats can't stop bragging about how great the President Trump is. What's up, Deep South Jody? Happy Freedom. Kirk Allen, something about October 1st, the union and global financial system. We'll see. Yeah, we'll keep our eyes out for it, Kirk Allen. Appreciate you being here. Guess who? The smell comes from the solar radiation? I could see that. I could see that. Lone Wolf, we got plenty of empty manholes. You stay away from my empty manhole, Lone Wolf. Good nice. Lone Wolf, why is it the Salty Cracker can say and do and get away with it? Because he's demonetized. If he was monetized, he'd be demonetized all over again. That's why I'm able to go live right now without being punished for saying COVID or vaccines or ivermectin or what else can I not say? Stolen elections. I couldn't say any of that shit 6 months ago. Now I can because I'm demonetized. So now they don't give a shit what I say, I guess. I keep considering getting remonetized, but I'm not going to give you guys on YouTube any more attention than I already do. And I kind of feel bad because I know people will go back to YouTube and sign up for memberships and you'll still get 2/3 of the live, and then people will bitch about it and I'll have to just publicly ignore you, and I don't want to do that. So I feel very conflicted about it, but I have considered trying to get remonetized. As much as I hate YouTube, it ain't gonna do us any good if we can't survive. Hair Juicer, neighbor across the street, has a flag. I'd love to get a hope flag. Me too, Hair Juicer. I bet we could. I bet we could do that without infringing on any copyrights. And we got flags. We got a hooligan flag over on the second merch store. Sam, just go commando. Is there another option? Sam, hope was Obama's bullshit. Yeah, I guess I didn't think about that. Sam, there's also going to be a large asteroid that will be orbiting Earth the next few months. Yeah, I seen that. It's going to be like our second moon for a little while, and then eventually it'll go away. What's up, Trump girl? Happy freedom. Matthew, my one device keeps stopping. Yeah, well, I guess Rumble is having issues. Badass, Alistair. I appreciate you. And we're going to get your damn page together. I know I've been telling you that for months now. I think we're on the other end of the issues, so I should be able to get your page together. My biggest question, Alistair, is what do you want me to title it as, like the URL? Do you want it to be Alistair, or do you want it to be your name? Rebecca, I heard something about 2 moons. Yeah, there's supposed to be an asteroid that's going to get close enough to the Earth to get pulled into like our gravitational pull or whatever. And it's supposed to hang out with the moon. And I've heard a couple different explanations of what people think is going to happen. But basically, we'll have 2 moons orbiting around us for a few weeks or something like that. And then it'll get the momentum to leave our gravitational pull, I guess. I don't know how many times this has happened. I've never heard of this in my lifetime. But historically, who knows how many times this has happened. But it's a very interesting thing. I'll see if I can find a video on it for tomorrow. Steve, Rumble kicks out all the time. It's a pain in the ass. Yeah, I hate the damn technical issues. Freed the Texan, 35 days. I can't wait. Can't come fast enough. I'm so ready to vote for President Trump. Matt. Oop. I'm clicking all the damn wrong buttons. Matt, I'm wearing my Trump hair shirt today. It's badass. It's badass. Free the Texan, it's 10 miles wide. You gotta brag about your wiener, boy. Getting in the chat telling me, okay, you just gonna demasculate me right here in front of everybody? I hear about your 10-mile wide wiener. How do you carry that thing? With both hands. Anyways, let's get on to this next one. This is Street Interviews. It's titled, Voters Are Asked If They Are Better Off Now Than They Were 4 years ago.
We are just 30.
So excited to go vote. Can't vote fast enough. Don't forget, hit that like button over on Rumble. Let's get into this.
We are just 36 days to Election Day, and with such a close race between former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris, it looks like this race could come down to one question. Are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? Newsmax producer Brianna Webb checked in with voters on the streets of New York. Here's what they had to say.
Are you better off now than you were 4 years ago?
No. No.
Not really.
Honestly, I don't know.
Absolutely not. Especially being in construction, things have gotten very expensive.
I am no candidate to discuss this right now.
Yeah. You pay for your groceries. How's your grocery bill right now?
It's not great.
Much worse. I would say like my grocery bill has almost doubled over the last several years, which is really hard, especially when you're in a position where your salary is sort of like capped. You know, you're not meeting what you're spending.
Super expensive. Super expensive. Everything's at an all-time high right now. It's kind of disgusting if you ask me. I need things to go back to how they were.
And was that 4 years ago?
That was 4 years ago.
Now, come November, what is your top issue that you'll be voting for? Women's reproductive freedom.
You ain't got to worry about that.
The economy, the border, but mainly the economy, because that's what really affects us.
We don't have a country without borders. I know everybody, all the politicians say that, but without borders, there's no country. I can't go to any other country and vote, you know? Safety here, I mean, you're talking to the police department, you're talking to all the police officers, they don't even feel safe. You know, their hands are tied to do their job, and it's not right.
Taxes, financial stability, political policy, fiscal policy.
Can you name any of Kamala Harris's policies?
No, I can't. Not one. I'm being honest. I'm not one. I can't name one.
I think her policies on
Humpback liberals?
what is it called? I'm like blanking on the word right now. Her policy is on climate change.
What has she done? What has she done for the border? What has she done for our communities?
I didn't even know she existed.
I didn't even know she existed. It's like old man Walter. Just completely irrelevant. Does nothing for us. And they found one humpback whale that was going to be voting for Hyena Harris, and they didn't even know why, except for reproductive rights. Says the woman is not getting fucked. I'm like, I don't know. I don't get that, but that's okay. That's okay. I've been thinking about doing street interviews here. I just worry too much about having to engage in violence on camera, but we'll see. We'll see if I can get enough motivation for it. Anyways, next up we have Tim Walz gets heckled by students at the Michigan game and then appears to flip off the students. And we'll be running that right alongside this next video. This is brutal. Michigan college football fans booed Tim Walz as he entered the stadium. Both of those are coming up next. They're short videos, but Tim Walz, he drinks horses and sucks ass, so it's coming up next. But first, we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about those street interviews there. Russell, the unrealized gains would destroy the U.S. Yeah, it's like misinformation and disinformation. They're just going to categorize whatever they want, and you're going to owe tax on it. It's no good. That is straight communism. They might as well just tell us to give us all your money. We're decided you owe us this much, and there's just nothing we can do about it. I don't know. Free the Texan, all the ugly bitches are the ones fighting for abortions when they are walking birth control. You're right, Free the Texan. I've heard terrible reasons for why people even want to get it. You know, ask them. Next time you see somebody who's like, "Oh, I'm worried about abortions," be like, "Why?" And see what they say. They have crazy stories in their head. Like crazy stories. They're like, but what if you're riding on a train and then you like go to the bathroom and you sit on the toilet seat and you get pregnant and you find out that the pregnancy came from a rapist. He's a serial rapist and he's on the train. He's going to get all of us, and then I can't even get an abortion. I got to shit out a serial rapist baby, and then that baby's going to grow up to be a serial rapist, and it'll be all my fault. And it's Trump's fault because he didn't let me kill the baby. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? You ever been on a train? They're like, no, I'm scared of trains. What? What? You shouldn't be allowed to vote. Like, we're taking your voting privilege away. You're stupid as shit. Swear to God. I've heard all kinds of stuff. I've heard really bad stuff, too. Really bad stuff. Like, well, what if it's disfigured? Well, you'll know that from ultrasounds and stuff. They're like, no, I'd rather just kill the baby. It's like, that's cynical. It's cynical. It's just, I don't know, terrible people doing terrible things. You know, I'm just saying. Free Thinker Texan, you could look at someone and be like, yeah, her coochie stinks. You're not wrong, Free Thinker Texan. I don't know what that's, I don't know. Is that just a man radar thing? Are we all built the same? I don't know why it's like that. You're not wrong, though, because I'll be at Walmart like, I could tell your pH is off from here. Anyways. Walking around their cheesy leggings. Stop. Free Thinker Texan, why'd you do this? It ain't Saturday, okay? We can't be talking like this. It ain't Saturday. Zupia, I love that story. Man, they got so many of them. Those liberals, they got so many crazy stories. Pumpkin, I don't know what to say about that sad story. We shouldn't let liberals vote. That's all I can say is we shouldn't let them vote. DCAT, sounds like you better not sit out on a public toilet. It could be detrimental to your health. Yeah, DCAT, well, I don't. I think only 2 times have I had to use the bathroom in that fashion at a toilet that was not mine in my entire adult life. I do not use the bathroom out in public. I use my home toilet or I don't go. It's really weird, I know, but my butthole is particular. Pumpkin, reproductive freedom. I know, listen to that. Those terms. Those are terms. Those aren't policy, those are terms. They're labels. KJ, I'm hearing at midnight all the ports from Texas to Maine are going to strike. Yeah. So what it's looking like. And like I was saying earlier, I'm seeing videos of people claiming that they're already on strike. So we'll see. Tomorrow should be interesting. Also, we're going to be covering the JD Vance versus Tim Walz debate tomorrow. It's going to be a good time. I don't think we're going to show it on YouTube. I don't know if we're going to be able to show it on Twitch, but we will be showing it on Kick, Rumble, jeffmaclive.com, and Twitter for sure. So definitely look forward to the debate tomorrow. It's going to be busy. We're going to have the debate. We got President Trump live. The ports are going on strike. We might even have riots. God only knows. Trump girl just got power and internet back today. I'm glad things are looking up, Trump girl. I feel bad for everybody. Like all the way to like Ohio, people are getting rain and bad weather. I don't want to tell you how nice it was yesterday, but I'm not experiencing bad weather, and it makes me feel really bad for everyone around me. Paul Gross, I know. Rappy, you have some interesting stories. You should hear the stories I don't say on the live. To Marquise, Walz is a Broncos fan. Yeah, he is. Loves them. Drives a Mustang, too. Rides it to work every day, and then it rides him home. That's how it goes. Tony Rich, a two-moon portal. The asteroid is about the size of a house, and it will orbit for about 2 months. Interesting, Tony Rich. Lone Wolf, groceries have went up 2.5 times in Michigan. Feels like it. Definitely feels like it. What's up, Donnie Brooklyn? Happy freedom. Donnie Brooklyn, they'll tax your words and tell you have free speech. Yep. Snooks. Bought beer and PB whiskey today for the debate. Awesome, Snooks. I'm looking forward to the debate. It's going to be a good time. Friedrich Texan, if the ports strike, inflation is going to get worse as well as inventory. Yeah, Friedrich Texan. I'm kind of surprised people aren't out there buying toilet paper. Remember when COVID first happened and we couldn't get toilet paper anymore? Do you remember that? I still have rubbing alcohol and peroxide from those days. I got tons of stuff. And I wonder if this is going to cause more of that. I see a lot of people in the chat. They're like, buy food for your animals. You know, go get ammo, go get all this stuff. And it kind of reminds me of the lockdowns. But we'll see. I'll go to the store later because I got some supplies I got to get just in general, not because strikes or anything like that. But I'm interested to see what people are behaving like when we go. And all of that is you either know or you don't. You know, people either know that there's a strike coming or they don't. And whatever I see at the grocery store is going to speak loudly. Russell, abortion is not birth control. You're absolutely right, Russell. The problem is those people don't want to take responsibility. Like, yeah, they claim they want access to women's health care, meaning killing babies, but really what it is they want to use abortions as contraceptive. They want to be able to take their Plan B pills and all that stuff and have overnight abortions. Because they don't want to wear condoms or do anything like that. So next up, we're going to play these 2 videos back to back. They're pretty short. First one's titled, Tim Walz gets heckled by students at the Michigan game and then appears to flip off the students. And then the next video is, this is brutal. Michigan college football fans booed Tim Walz as he enters the stadium. We're going to go ahead and get right into this. It's like we're celebrating his downfall before he loses the debate. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Oh yeah! Trump 2024, baby! Oh yeah! Trump 2024, baby!
So right there, they're claiming that this is Tim Walz flipping off students. You know, screaming Trump 2024. People have zoomed in, cropped, enhanced this photo so many times. And I believe it. I believe he is flipping these people off. Now, I haven't heard anyone argue saying, no, he's pointing or whatever. No, it really does look like he's flipping the people off. It just looks that way. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you have a different opinion, but to me, it looks like he is flipping people off. Let me see. Here's a better image of it. Come on now, get that thing out of here. That's what she said. What do you think? Is that him flipping them off, or is he pointing? Is he doing like a Trump thing, like, yeah, buddy? I don't know. I think he's flipping them off, but like I said, that's just my opinion. We'll get right into this next one. This is him getting booed because ain't nobody like Tim Horse Drinker Walz. All right, let's get into it. Now, the guy in the beginning of the video, he needs to be careful because he was booing so hard that his voice went hoarse. And if he continues to do that, well, he'll be making better friends with Tim Walz than he was picturing. Anyways, next up we have man accused of plotting assassination attempt on President Donald Trump pleads not guilty in court. I talked about this a little bit earlier. It's kind of surprising that he's pleaded not guilty. I know a lot of people who do commit crime, they just go ahead and plead not guilty even when they're on camera and everything, like the cards are stacked against them. They're like, not guilty. I'm like, well, okay. Well, the thing is about pleading not guilty is you're in for all or nothing. A lot of times prosecutors will come give you a deal. They'll say plead guilty or plead no contest, and we'll give you this little time or fines or community service or whatever it is they're going to make you do. But you ain't going to get the maximum sentence. When you say, oh, I'm innocent, I'm not taking your plea deal, well, now you're going to trial. And when you go to trial, it's all or nothing. You're going to convince everyone you're innocent, and they're going to let you go, or you're not, and they're going to give you maximum time. You are not getting a deal. And so that's why you see a lot of people take plea deals and stuff, is to avoid getting maximum time. Now, this individual's not doing that. He's going to trial. So he is either really stupid because it's obvious what he was trying to do, or he has an attorney that thinks he has a trick up his sleeve or something like that, and they think that they don't meet the definition for these charges, which is the only hope they got when they go to trial. You have to have a badass attorney that has a brain inside of his noggin, and they have to prove that you don't meet the definition of the crime they're accusing you of committing. Now, only time will tell, but either way, that's what's coming up next. Plus, that'll be the last little bit of our news for the day. And we have some funny videos coming up next. But first, we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about Tim Walz getting booed by Michigan fans. Russell, that's the middle finger for sure. I think so too. I think Tim Walz was kind of indirectly flipping people off. Your juicer, peace amongst worlds. I love Rick and Morty. I don't like the new stuff because the co-producer or co-creator or whatever died or left or whatever happened. The new ones are a little different, but I like the old Rick and Morty. Freddie texting, yep, that's a middle finger. That's what I think too. Yeah, that's a good idea. Cadillacs. Matt, wife's birthday's tomorrow. Gonna have to miss the debate. Watch the highlights later. That's all right, Matt. I hope you guys have a fantastic time. Tell your wife, all the hooligans, say happy birthday. Hopefully you guys have a blast. For the text, and I have a bidet, and my roommate has a fear of running out of toilet paper. She has about 200 rolls in her spare room from Sam's Club. That's hilarious. Free Thinker Texan. When is the VP debate? It's tomorrow night. You probably are Someone's already probably responded to that, but yep, tomorrow night, and we'll be covering it. Cadillacs, the bathrooms here at the school are always nasty, and we have 2 trans people, and the rest are women. Holy, I wouldn't be using the bathroom, Cadillacs. I'm just like that. I don't know. Could you imagine if there was girls trying to get in our bathrooms? Because I don't never see that. They don't want to rumble with us. They don't want those problems. You walk in the men's bathroom, you might see dudes holding hands at the urinal. You never know what you can see in there. And they ain't even gay. They're just lonely. They're just scared because the world doesn't care about us men. You know, I've never seen women in dudes' bathrooms. For the Texan, I've cleaned public bathrooms and women's are usually worse. Yes. Yeah, when I was a chaplain, I had to clean all the bathrooms and stuff, and women's bathrooms are always worse. We had a debate a few months ago. It pissed everybody off, where I was talking about the only reason that women love bitching about men being dirty and gross and stinky and blah, blah, blah. Well, they like to keep us around to make us their dirty little pet, so no one can realize that women are grosser than men are. Women smell worse than us. They're grosser than us. They'd be like picking their toes and stuff. Men don't be doing that shit. Not at all. So women keep men around to take the attention off of them on how gross they actually are, but that's okay. That's okay. The bathroom is their little tell right there. For the Texan, where's all the female to male trans? It's always male to female trying to get into female bathrooms. It seems suspect. Yeah, for the Texan, it is that way. It used to be a little bit more balanced in the beginning as far as the stories told. The news was always trying to be like, yeah, there's women getting into dude shit, and there's dudes getting into women shit. Now it's just pedophiles and sex offenders pretending to be women. That's all it is. Snooks, we don't smell worse. Will you let me know when you come across a man that smells like pennies? Dabs, why is it trans men always resort to physical intimidation when questioned if they are? Yeah, Dabs, that's true. They want to pretend to be women, and then if you ask them, are you a woman? Then they get all bent out of shape. You're right, Dabs. It's because they're mentally unstable. That's why they're doing it in the first place. Alistair, Rick and Morty co-creator Royland was given the boot. Domestic violence charges, that anime BS they have now is so dumb. Yeah, Alistair. I knew something happened, but I know Rick and Morty is not the way that it was. I'm trying to think. There's another show it's like that too. I don't remember if it's South Park. There's some other show where the creator had left or died or something, and then the show just kind of went to shit after that. They try to keep it going, but it never works out. DCAT, one thing you could say about Michiganders is that we are not silent people. We will speak our mind no matter what. It's true, DCAT. It is true. Michiganders get loud. Zupia, he is flipping them off while pointing at him. Yeah, Zupia, that's what it was looking like to me as well. Trump Girl, I'd definitely be booing him. Yeah, I would be too. I wouldn't be doing it to the point where my voice is hoarse, though. I'd be feeling intimidated in those kind of situations around Tim Walz. That guy was like, boo! Neighing like a horse. It's like, oh no, you better cut that off. Tim Walz is going to want you to show up at the freak off. Mm-hmm. For the free thinking Texan, I wouldn't care if a chick peed in the bathroom. They got to go in the stall. Yeah, free thinking Texan. I mean, it wouldn't bother me either. I don't care what they do. Beat me up. Doubt it. DCAT, look at all the women in the chat. I got more girls than I know what to deal with. I don't need more women in my life, I'll tell you that. What's up, Adam? Happy freedom. Status quo. Timmy Walz is low class enough and weird about himself. He's just a weird person in general. There was a lot of videos that I kind of skipped past. I didn't put him on the schedule. There's a lot of people asking, why does he lift his leg while he's on stage? He'll be like doing this, but then he like lifts his leg up. And everybody's like, why does he do that? Is that a sign? Is that a thing? What is that? I just figured it wasn't breaking enough news to add it to the schedule. A lot of people questioning Tim Walz. All right, hooligans, we're going to get on to this next video here. It's titled, Man Accused of Plotting Assassination Attempt on President Donald Trump Pleads Not Guilty in Court. Now, before we get into this, I want to give you guys a reminder, and I just realized I haven't given you any reminders today. If you would like to join the membership program over on Rumble, all you have to do is click that big red subscribe button right below where you type in the chat. Now, if you're on Android and you're using the Rumble app, you're unable to see that big red subscribe button. So go to rumble.com, come to the live, hop in the chat, and like I said, right below where you type in the chat, you will see that big red subscribe button. Click that button and jump through the hoops, and your name will be highlighted as an official Rumble hooligan. You'll have access to our custom emojis. We have chapstick emojis, scream and goat emojis, Klaus Daniels emojis, President Trump emojis, and more. It's a lot of fun during the live, especially during a Trump live. So definitely go join the membership program over on Rumble. Get on to Ryan Routh here. I don't know why they're not saying his name anymore. The first week, that's all they were saying was his name. Now he's just the would-be shooter. That's what they say most of the time. But either way, let's go ahead and get into this. Once again, this is Man Accused of Plotting Assassination Attempt on Donald Trump Pleads Not Guilty in Court. Don't forget, hit that like button over on Rumble.
The man charged in connection with the assassination attempt against former President Trump at his golf course in West Palm Beach is back in court.
His arraignment is happening right now. Local 10's Trent Kelly is live in West Palm Beach with the latest. Trent.
Yeah, that's right, Annalise. Ryan Wesley Routh appearing here inside the federal courthouse behind me just a few moments ago for his planned arraignment in this case. That court hearing lasting just a few minutes with Routh's attorneys waiving a formal reading of the charges while also entering a plea of not guilty. It comes a little less than a week after a federal grand jury indicted Routh on attempted assassination charges which he now appears ready to fight in court with his attorneys today requesting a trial. Keep walking! For the third time in as many weeks, the suspect in the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump at his West Palm Beach golf club is appearing in a federal courtroom. 58-year-old Ryan Wesley Routh expected to enter a plea during his arraignment today. Routh, who was originally arrested for gun violations, is now facing an attempted assassination charge after being indicted by a federal grand jury last week. The indictment coming one day after prosecutors released new evidence during a bond hearing, including testimony from a special agent who said Routh waited with a rifle for up to 12 hours outside Trump International Golf Club. On that gun was a scope attached with electrical tape where Routh's fingerprint was discovered. Prosecutors also say Routh wrote this handwritten letter stating his intention to kill the former president. The note addressed to the world reading, quote, "This was an assassination attempt on Donald Trump, but I failed you. I tried my best and gave it all the gumption I could muster. It is up to you now to finish the job, and I will offer $150,000 to whomever can complete it." The note, left outside of an undisclosed home months earlier, along with a box containing ammunition, a metal pipe, and 4 phones, one of which was allegedly used to search the internet for ways to get from West Palm Beach to Mexico. And you'll remember that the judge presiding over last week's bond hearing did end up ruling that Routh remain in federal custody as he awaits trial. The judge citing that new evidence before making their decision. Again, Routh's attorneys here in court today entering a plea of not guilty with a trial date not yet being set in this case. We should mention that we also learned late last week that the federal judge who will be in charge of overseeing this attempted assassination case will be none other than Judge Eileen Cannon. Cannon, of course, drew a lot of scrutiny over the summer when she dismissed those criminal charges against the former president for that Mar-a-Lago classified documents case. You'll remember Cannon was appointed to her position while Donald Trump was president. For now, that is the latest live outside the federal courthouse in West Palm Beach this afternoon. I'm Trent Kelly, Local 10 News.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. If they get him off the hook, it's going to be so crazy. I mean, I'm sure nobody will do anything about it, but we're in such a crazy time that that's a possibility. That somebody could camp out for 12 hours with intentions of shooting a president and then get off the hook just because they ain't shooting at a Democrat. And that's the way it is. It's the Democrat shooters. All these people are. And not even just when they're shooting at President Trump. The school shooters are the same way. It's Democrats mishandling firearms are our firearm problem here in America. I almost said Michigan. It is Michigan, but everywhere else too. In America, we have a problem where Democrats don't know how to handle firearms properly. Maybe they should put that on the test. You know, you got to take the 10 questions or whatever when you're purchasing a firearm. And it's like, are you a Democrat? You're like, no. They're like, all right, you're good. You're good then. Otherwise, you're like, yeah. And then 10 more options come up. They're like, are you currently enrolled in any schools? Blah, blah. I don't know. It's no good. Ryan Routh. We'll see if he actually gets some justice. I highly doubt it, but he deserves it. I'll tell you that. Anyways, that is the last little bit of our news for the day. We have 2 funny videos coming up next. Well, the first one, I don't know if it's a funny video, but it's an America video, I'll tell you that. The first one's titled, You Can Smell the Freedom. And then our official funny video of the day is titled, You Can't Take Hooligans Anywhere. All of that's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat and see what you hooligans think about Ryan Routh pleading not guilty to plotting an assassination attempt on President Trump. Jay Spray, how do you give someone $150,000 from prison? That's a great question. There's got to be someone else involved in this, and they were suspecting that, and it's gotten really quiet. DeSantis says that he's investigating this. I'm trying to think. I want to say someone else says that they're investigating it too, and I can't remember who it is. Well, we'll see, though. We'll see if they actually come up with anything, because it's really doubtful that Ryan Routh is working on his own if he claims to have $150,000. We'll see, or we won't. It's hard to say. Freethiga Texan, he was using a rifle with a taped-on scope. If he has 150K, I'm Jesus. I'm saying Freethiga Texan, I don't know what he thought he was going to do with that taped-on scope. There's no way that thing's dialed in, you know? I'm just saying. What's up, 10 Man? Happy freedom. Freethiga Texan, a scope taped on with electric tape. I'm guessing that wasn't going to be very accurate. Yeah. I've never even heard of anybody doing that. Freethiga Texan, Democrats are the reason for the assassination attempts. I absolutely agree. I totally agree. Oh, you're badass, 10 Man. You're awesome for helping those people out. Freethiga Texan, Tim Walz lifting his leg on stage because he's sharding. Yeah, he's got to get them horse juices out. And over 100 people have died from Helene. That's crazy. I'm trying to think. When I heard yesterday, it was a small number. Oh, I just remembered. What channel is it that's got the peacock? Is it NBC, ABC, one of the BCs? Bullshit? I don't know. Either way, I saw a President Trump commercial on live TV yesterday on a liberal station. And I was really surprised to see that. Now, the volume wasn't on, so I don't know what they were saying. But it was a President Trump commercial. I was really surprised to see that, because I don't see that stuff anywhere. I see Hyena Harris everywhere, especially on Spotify. When I'm driving, like every 5 songs or something, after that you end up with a Hyena Harris commercial, and there's never President Trump commercials. So I asked you guys before if you've been hearing President Trump commercials, and you guys were saying that you see it on YouTube and places like that, but I haven't seen anything because I got Brave browser, so I don't see ads on the internet. But I actually seen a President Trump advertisement on the Peacock channel. Too old to care, NBC. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, I was surprised to see Trump ads over there. Trump girl. I just talked to 3 young 18-year-olds and explained to them what Trump does for America, and they decided they were voting for President Trump. That's badass, Trump girl. Rappy, you got some good advice there. I don't even know what you're referencing, Rappy. The advice may have been given, but I didn't receive it. Dutton, how can he plead guilty after putting out a letter admitting it? You just can. You just can. That's the thing, though. They could use the letter against him in court. That's why it really doesn't make sense, because he's going to go to court. He's going to say, no, I didn't do that. I wasn't even there. They're going to pull his phone records because they pinged his phone. That's how they figured out he was laying there for 12 hours, because his phone was responsive to the neighboring towers and stuff. So they're going to pull those records. They're going to pull everything that was left at the scene. They're going to talk about his fingerprints. They're going to talk about the letter. And that's what I mean. Like, he is going to end up getting the maximum sentence because he's going to trial instead of taking a plea deal. And either he's a dumbass or his attorney really thinks that they have something they can do to change this over, because every law has a definition. And although it may lean that way, if you don't meet the definition, you'll beat the charges. You could commit a crime and they could charge you with something that is similar to what you committed, and if you don't meet the definition, the whole case just gets thrown out. They'd have to recharge you, and a lot of times they won't. They'll charge you with what they think fits the bill the best, and if you prove that you don't meet the definition, they can't charge you with it. That's why people hide the body, because if you murder somebody but they can't ever find that body, they cannot charge you with murder unless you're in Ludington. There was an instance in Ludington where they did charge a man with murder because the baby was missing, and then they never found the body, and that guy still got murdered. And that's the only instance I've ever heard of that. And there's a lot of people who think that's wrong and that should have never happened, but because there was a baby involved, a lot of people don't give a shit. But generally, if you murder a person and they can't find that body, they cannot get you for murder. They just can't, because you don't meet the definition. And so we'll see. They got some trick up their sleeve, or he's a dumbass. Probably both, honestly. But we'll see what happens with Ryan Routh. Jeb, your gal needs some Diablo sauce. Yeah, that's how I got it. That's how I'm gonna tell if they're the right one or not. Starts working out, I'm gonna hand him a Diablo packet. Like, okay, it's gonna make it or break it. What's up, Dutton? Happy freedom. Jeb, Taco Bell candlelight and a bottle of red wine. Yeah, Jeb. I got lots of Riz. I have no problem sweeping women off their feet. The problem is women don't know how to treat men. That's the real fucking problem, but that's okay. That's okay. Thank you so much, Snooks, for that $40 donation. I appreciate everything you do, Snooks. Thank you so much. It says, thank you, Jeff, for standing strong for 4 years and keeping the Hooligan family together. You're the best. Well, you're the best, Snooks. Thank you. You're the bestest. Totally care. Routh. Is it Ruse? Am I saying his name wrong? Ryan is just another deranged leftist. Yeah, too old to care. He's definitely a crazed lefty for sure. Alistair, thanks for the advice, Jeff. Noted. Yeah, if she doesn't eat your Diablo sauce, she ain't the one. I just, that's how you could tell. Hair Juicer, speaking of cell data, Tony Saruga, I'm not saying his name right, pulled the data from the Harris rally. Less than 1,000 phones were in the area, and like 10,000 were from other states. Interesting, Hair Juicer. Thank you for letting me know that. I'm going to have to see who that person is, so maybe we can get a video on that or some more info or something. Very interesting. Snooks, ahem. I know just how to treat a man. Have you ever used both hands before? Never mind. Yeah, Rappy. I know. What's up, Kung Fu? Happy freedom. Done. A time-traveling grasshopper. Yes, we have hooligans of all sorts. Oh, I believe you, Trump girl. I believe you. Alistair, yeah. Yep. If they can't find the body, no crime was committed. Zeusbury's obviously going for the insanity plea. TDS is real, going to make it a clinically diagnosed condition. That could be. That could be. He's definitely got TDS. I don't know if he'll qualify as insane. Maybe, though. His kid just got picked up for having inappropriate child content on his devices. I love how that story is extra quiet. Real quiet. Adam, Vance is going to kick his ass in the debate. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. And we're totally going to be covering it. I'm looking forward to it. Annette, Dan doesn't have any complaints. He waited a while to get me. Well, you must be the one, Annette. That's all there is to it. Snow, she didn't like that answer. Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. Well, hooligans, we're going to get into these funny videos of the day. But before we do, I want to give you this last reminder. If you would like to support the live to keep us running, you're welcome to use the Linktree link in order to send donations. You can do that by using PayPal, Cash App, Stripe, Locals, Buy Me a Coffee, or you can even send crypto. We're going to get into this first video. I don't know if it's a funny video or a feel-good video, but it's got America written all over it.
Starting off at the 10th.
Yes. All right. So this one is titled, You Can Smell the Freedom.
Starting off at the 10th position, we have Iraq with 30 firearm per 100 people. Moving on to the 9th place, we have Iran with 31. Switzerland at number 8 with 32 firearms. Moving upwards at number 7, Uruguay with 32.5 per 100 people. Finland with 33 firearms secures its place in the 6th position. Reaching to the top 5, New Zealand at 5 with 34.5 firearms. Cyprus at the 4th place with 37 firearms. At 3rd place, it's Serbia with 38 firearms. At number 2, it's Republic of Yemen with staggering 55 firearms per 100 people. However, at the top of the list, it's the land of free liberty and democracy, the United States with 120 firearms per 100, making Americans the most armed people in the world.
America! America! Fuck yeah!
Like I said, I don't know if that's our funny video or what exactly that is, but it's got America written all over it. We're going to get into our official funny video of the day. It is titled, You Can't Take Hooligans Anywhere. Let me see. Oh, come on. Damn internet trying to fight me? Mm-hmm. Alright, hooligans. This is our official funny video of the day. It's titled, You Can't Take Hooligans Anywhere.
United States of America! Then they covered it up with their January 6th bullshit! Over!
Yes! Getting in that holiday spirit. Love it. I love it. This is why I don't have family dinners, because, you know, God knows I'd be just unleashing that truth on everybody. Anyways, that is all the coffee I had for you hooligans today on this Manic Monday. Could be dropping this Linktree link to all of you guys, where all of my links are listed. So if you would like to make donations, join membership programs, or purchase any merch, really appreciate it. All of your guys' contributions keep us running every day except for Sunday, because we got to have a day to recharge those batteries. Definitely go join Discord. Discord is our free hooligan community. It's the best way to be notified every single time we go live. The hooligans are there, keeping the conversation going 24/7. We have a news board to keep you up to date with everything going on around the world, and it is the best way to be notified every time we go live. If you're feeling real saucy, go join jeffmaclive.com. Over on the website, it is the best way to experience the live. Our built-in chat has more ability than any other platform. You can post memes and GIFs and custom emojis and links and customize your chat bubbles and all kinds of stuff right there while you're watching the live. You'll also have access to Hooligans Alley, which is our own private social media area. It is kind of like Facebook or Twitter, but there's no liberals, there's no fact checkers, there's no crazy community guidelines or any stupid shit like that. It's just the way that social media is supposed to be. You'll also have access to our forums to encourage open discussion, and you will also have access to our arcade as well as our advanced messaging system that has built-in group chats. Our advanced messaging system gives you the ability to text each other, call each other, video call each other, group texting, group calling, group video calling, and more. There's tons of stuff to do over on the website, so definitely go get yourself a membership for jeffmaclive.com. It's the home of the Hooligans. We're going to read through the chat really quick, and we got the Pledge of Allegiance coming up next, and then we will be wrapping things up. But we're going to have a busy day tomorrow. We have Coffee with Hooligans at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. President Trump will be live tomorrow as well. I want to say we got something else going on too, and then we have the debate that will be happening later on in the afternoon, probably around 9 p.m. I'm assuming, somewhere in there, because I think that's when the last debate was. It's going to be Tim Walz versus J.D. Vance, and it's going to be a good time, so hopefully I see all of you hooligans right here. I'm going to read through really quick, and we got the Pledge of Allegiance coming up next. What's up, Breeze by You? Happy Freedom? Yeah, we just got to the end there. I'm sorry you're not having the best of days. Cadillacs, that's me. That's the way to be. That is the way to be. Spread that truth. Zero, that's a feel-good video for sure. I think so. Thank you, Faded, for the $2 donation on Rumble. You're a badass, Faded. Thank you so much. Says 2A capital of the world. That's right. That is right. Told the Kara love Roseanne. I like her too. I had to kind of back off from showing her stuff because she's a Holocaust denier, and I thought that was really weird. And so I didn't know that happened, and I put her on at one point, and people had brought that to my attention, and then I went and watched all these videos and stuff, and so now I gotta like back off from showing Roseanne, because then it looks like I condone it, because life is stupid like that. What's up, Aco? Happy Freedom. Trump girl just had back surgery. Well, I hope you have a speedy recovery, Trump girl. All you lady hooligans, don't get bent out of shape about the stuff I'm saying about finding a girlfriend and stuff like that. I want girls to do nasty things to me, okay? And I don't want to say that out loud. So don't get bent out of shape. Don't, blow a gasket trying to explain to me how I need a woman in my life, okay? I want them to do terrible things, and you don't know that. So don't waste your breath. Don't get out bent out of shape. Cooking and cleaning is great and all, but, if they don't choose cock over air, then I don't want them. Now everybody's all good and mad. Good. It's that time once again, hooligans. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Did the thing. We are good to go. We're going to read through the chat one last time. Just make sure your hooligans are good to go and nobody gets left behind. Like I said, we will be live again tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern time for Coffee with Hooligans. We got President Trump who's going to be live. J.D. Vance versus Tim Walz. We are going to be busy tomorrow, and it's going to be a good time. Plus, we're going to have a drinking game. We will put together some drinking rules and whatnot. You don't have to drink alcohol. We have lots of sober hooligans. There's nothing wrong with that. So you can drink Kool-Aid or water, or don't drink the horses. I'll tell you that. Don't do that, okay? Don't do that. But it will be fun. I'll have the rules listed. We'll probably do something over on Discord or somewhere to try and figure out what you guys want for the rules. We'll do it on the website as well, of course. We'll get that figured out. and it's going to be a good time, so look forward to it. Like I said, we're going to read through the chat one last time just to make sure no hooligans are left behind, and we're wrapping this up. I appreciate you, Annette. Alex, stop it. I know, but I see people getting all... They're not thinking of this the way that I'm thinking. Holy breeze by you. I'm sorry you're having a day today. Man, there's a big load of tractor trailers waiting to get in with supplies. That's awesome, 10 man. I'm glad that people are helping out and stuff. You know the government ain't gonna show up, not unless they're gonna come take everyone's guns away, like they did in was it Hurricane Katrina? I can't even remember now. And they're going house to house, taking all the legal gun owners' guns away. Oh, that'd be badass, Alistair. Yeah, we'll get some rules together. I always wait till the last minute, so I'll try and make sure we do it by the end of today. Oh, I appreciate you, Pumpkin. I know you hooligans are just trying to help me. Faded, you have to use two hands? I don't have to do anything. I don't have to. I choose to. Yeah. Are you offering a hand, Faded? You're offering a hand, are you? You're quite the mod. Holy. Totally care. It was her denial was sarcastic. When I seen it, she was pretty adamant about it. I mean, maybe it was taken out of context, but I watched like a 20-minute video clip of her going off. And I don't know. I expressed that a few weeks ago, and people were saying that Roseanne had a brain injury or something like that, and they were kind of blaming it on that. But I'll look into it a little bit more. Trump girl, it was Hurricane Katrina. Yeah, and they went house to house and disarmed everybody. Hopefully they don't decide to do that this time. It's a blue collar. Happy freedom. That's badass, Proud Patriot Girly. Cadillacs, Trump is heading to Georgia to deliver supplies and shit. Yeah, that's what we covered at the beginning of the live. Alright, I think we're good to go. Appreciate you, MU. Alright, hooligans. Like I said, we have a lot of stuff going on tomorrow, so hopefully I see you guys right here. We're going to be covering Coffee with Hooligans at 1 p.m. We got President Trump tomorrow. I'm not sure exactly what time. It may be a part of Coffee with Hooligans. And then at some time in the evening, we will be covering J.D. Vance versus Tim Walz, the horse drinker. It's going to be a good time. We know it's going to be biased, but we will make sure to make it a fun time. So definitely be here. Huge shout out to everyone that made donations, joined the membership programs, or purchased any merch. I really appreciate all of you hooligans, and I wouldn't be able to do any of this if it wasn't for you. So thank you so much for all your support, and I'll see you on the next live. Until then, stand tall, shine bright, and that's a wrap.